In today's profile, producer Monica Rogozinski talks to legendary swim coach Jim Ellis about his role in shaping the history and future of swimming.
Yeah! I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Swimming became part of my life. We were out on a family trip. My dad and I were in a boat. We were out in the lake, one of the state parks out near Pittsburgh. He grabbed me, threw me out the boat. He said, swim, get back to the boat and swim, swim. And I didn't drown, but he pulled me back in the boat. My mother was on the beach, and she wasn't yelling swim, swim. She was yelling something else to my dad. So all the way home, they discussed it. They enrolled me in a YMCA. The very first lesson, the guy said, do this, this, and this, and I did it all. And I was swimming. It was just like, it just came to me. And I told my dad, I said, did you pay for all the swim lessons? He said, yeah. I said, you need to get your money back. He said, why? I said, because I know how to swim. I said, I don't know what them other kids were doing, but I got it, Dad. He said, no, you're going to finish the classes. But that was it. I was around 7, 8 years old. It was the weightlessness, the freedom. My imagination just took over. That's how I got started. Went to Cheney University, swam on the swim team there for 2 years, and they dropped the swimming program. So I pursued swimming wherever I could. After the swim team dropped, I was lifeguarding at the recreation at the university, and a young lady told me her mother was supervising a rec center in Philadelphia that had a swimming pool. So I came in, took a civil service exam, passed the test. I got hired. And we were in West Philadelphia, Sarah Recreation Center. The gangs were prevalent at the time. I wanted to get young men away from the gangs. I said, you know, swim team is needed. Once they would learn to swim, then they moved to the swim team. That way we would keep them in the water. And then when they get 15, 16, they become lifeguards, take first aid, and we would create a swimming community. I wanted to do something that was positive. I wanted to make a contribution. Growing up, there were a lot of African-American swimmers, and the good ones always got scholarships to go to a private white team. So when I started my program, I said, we are going to strive to achieve the highest level of swimming possible in our own community. I think that set me apart from other swim teams. And we did experience some racism. We experienced some negative attitudes.
Man, what's all these people looking at us like this for?
But that only made us stronger. That made us come home and swim a little faster.
Look at that water. That's your world. You own that. The race ain't over until you ain't got nothing left.
We were here to dispel a lot of myths. African Americans can't swim. Their bones are too heavy. They can't float. And my whole program was, if you give us access, then we'll have success. So with the Philadelphia Department of Recreation building that pool in West Philadelphia, that was the best thing because I had unlimited pool time. I had parents that got involved. I had the community support. We had an experience that was like no other. It just took off and grew.
She could always swim like a fish.
To have a movie made about me was a very interesting experience. During the whole process, I was like a deer in the headlights.
I'd never been outside of Philly before.
I was just going along for the ride. I was in disbelief. When the movie came out, my life changed again. I got to speak at the International Hall of Fame. They gave me the President's Award. And then after that, I started doing motivational speaking around the country.
We racing.
Swimmers, take your mark. Hop!
That gave me a platform to talk about swimming, talk about what we were doing. The constant in my life, I was going to swim practice every day. The constant in my life were the young people looking up saying, Coach, is that all right? And our main goal was to put somebody on the Olympic team.
We are racing. Did everyone understand that? Okay, thank you very much.
Take your mark.
This is Coach's Elite Group. They're my special kids, and I demand a lot from them and their parents. I want the older kids to be role models for the younger kids. So the younger kids come in, they can't do everything, but we give them things that they can do, but they're here with the top group. They come in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, 5:30 a.m., and they're back in the afternoon at 4:30, And Saturday mornings we swim at 7 o'clock a.m. and swim until I get tired. And then I let them go home. And with that, we still expect them to do well in school. We expect them to have a social life as well. We want to make them very well-rounded. They keep me going every day. In the bleachers real quick.
Let's climb out. Bleachers.
My story is just not something I did. It's something that the Philadelphia community took up, and anybody that ran across our path was willing to help us. I've been doing it for 50 years. I didn't think I'd be doing it for 50 years. 50 years went by so quick. It seemed like it was just yesterday I started, but the journey has been just fabulous.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's it for today. Have a nice day.